Hello students, in this video let's see the continuation part of a second chapter, and here we are going to discuss about role of top management in strategic decision making. So this concept we already discussed in the previous video, where we discussed about role of directors in strategic decision making. Let's continue this concept. So today we are going to discuss about a few more officials or stakeholders of a company who are involved in strategic decision making. So role of chief executive in strategic decision making. The role of chief executive is the most important one in the strategic management process. Often he is considered as follows: Chief Architect of Organizational Purpose, Strategist or Planner. Chief Executive Officer of a company is considered as Chief Architect or is a strategist or planner. So he is going to play a very important role in strategic decision making, where he acts as a planner. So he is going to make a strategic decision. Organization leader, organizer, or organization builder. So CEO or Chief Executive Officer has the responsibility of organization building through organizational change. That means our environment, it is changing, so a lot of opportunities are created, a lot of threats organization is going to face from the external environment. So organizational building strategies that depends on the market opportunities. So he has to make organization be ready for accepting those changes by formulating the strategies. As a leader, he must be a base for leadership. So a leader or the chief executive officer, he must have support from both within the organization and outside the organization. So in addition to the leadership skill, he should have support from the internal environment and external environment of the organization. So a leader must have skill of motivation. He should be a motivator. Yes, he is a chief administrator. He is going to manage things in organization. He is an implementer. So whatever the plans which are made by the various staff, that is going to be implemented by this. So only if chief executive gives such a consent, then that plans can be implemented. So he is a coordinator of various activities in organization. Communicator of organizational purpose, motivator, personnel leader or mentor. So chief executive officer is considered as a communicator of organizational purpose. So organizational ideas or plans and policies framed by the organization or the top management is going to be communicated to directors, to various stakeholders in organization by the chief executive officer, and he is a motivator and is considered as a mentor. So he's going to motivate through his acts, and by communicating employees, he can motivate them, or by providing physical facilities, he can motivate the employees in organization. Thus, chief executive is a person whose responsibility is to make major decision for the organization as a whole. So he is the important person in organization. So he has to take a decision by considering all or each and every aspects of organization. So in discharging his responsibility, he performs various functions like identification of opportunities. Chief executive identifies new business opportunities, that is finding new products or markets, specialization of market requirements, etc., through environmental analysis. By analyzing the external environment, he is going to identify various opportunities. So opportunity may be for manufacturing a new product or entering into a new markets, or being specialized in a product or in a market. So all these things, all these opportunities can be raised in the market. So all those opportunities should be identified by the chief executive. Setting direction. Chief executive sets direction for future course of action by defining long-term objective of the organization and how these objectives may be achieved. So he is going to set a direction for the future of the organization. So he is going to set a long-term objectives of organization, and he is going to communicate the employees that how these objectives can be achieved. So what are the activities that are needed to achieve the objectives, that are going to be communicated by the chief executive officer to the employees in organization. Formulation of long-term plans. Chief executive is responsible for formulation of long-term plans and making strategic decisions. So he is responsible for formulating various long-term plans and strategic decisions. He is involved in formulating long-term plans by making decisions about these plans and also by taking initiative and providing relevant information to the board in order to arrive at such decisions. So he is responsible for formulating long-term plans and is going to make decisions with regard to these plans, that is whether this plan is going to work or not. So what are the requirements for this plan for its implementation, and so which are the resources are required, and for formulating this plan, various information that is required. So all those things going to be gathered by this chief executive. In formulating long-term plans, he can take help of planning staff and other personnel in the organization. So he can take help from the planning staff. So he is not alone going to formulate strategic decisions, or is not going to formulate long-term plans. He will take the help of planning staff and other personnel, expertise people, experienced people there will be in organization. So he's going to take a help from them. Providing guidance. So chief executive provides guidance to various functionaries in the organization, so which includes the following, that is explaining and interpreting policies, programs followed or formulated by the board of directors. So various policies and programs that is going to be formulated by the board of directors, and those programs are going to be explained by the chief executives to the various other stakeholders. Executing plans by giving appropriate orders to his subordinates. So various plans formulated by the board, so that is going to be communicated to his subordinates. So for executing plan, for implementing a plan, or for doing various activities as per the plan, so you need to give some orders to the, or you need to give some instructions to the subordinates. Rectifying or modifying programs set up by departmental managers to achieve organizational goals. So if there is any changes need to be made in the policies framed or programs made, so that is going to be done by this chief executive. Then committing resources. Chief executive commits organizational resources, that is human resources and non-human resources, to various units and departments of the organization on regular basis, as well as new projects undertaken by the organization on occasional basis. So organizational resources, human and non-human resources, are going to be allocated by the chief executive officers for various daily activities and for new projects undertaken by the organization. So at the same time, he commits resources according to the needs of the situation. So some resources that may be required on particular season or particular time, so that time he need to have an inventory of that, or he need to have a contact with the supplier in order to ensure the availability of those resources on time. So he is going to take resources about the quantity of resources, or a quantity of inventory to be maintained in a warehouse. Integration. Chief executive integrates the efforts of various departmental heads reporting to him, and he performs the following integrating functions. integrating various departmental heads by prescribing organizational relationship. So he's going to integrate the efforts of various departments. There will be many departments in organization, like manufacturing department, finance department, accounts department, sales department. So like that, various departments will be there. So all those efforts are going to be integrated, combined together in organization to achieve the organizational objectives. Everyone in organization, they are going to work for the organization success. So the integration of various departments is going to done by these chief executive offices, prescribing and defining authority and responsibility of various departments. So he is going to prescribe the authority and responsibility. So who is authorized for what, and who is responsible for what, and who need to communicate to whom we need to get orders, or to whom we need to communicate our complaints or suggestions. So all these things are going to communicated by this chief executive officer. Creating a conducive environment in organization for efficient functioning. So conducive environment means making a certain situation possible. Conducive means that. So that means he should create an environment that should accept the changes. So whenever new opportunities are coming, or whenever you want to make changes in the environment, or when changes in the working environment, or any policies you want to introduce, so all those changes that should be accepted by the employees. So such an environment you need to create. Providing effective leadership in the organization. So he should be an effective leader, and he should be a role model for others, and he should have various leadership skills, and others should follow him by looking at evaluation and control. Chief executive being responsible for overall performance of the organization, and it tries to ensure that actual work is going on according to plans. So various plans that is formulated by the chief executive and others in organization, all those plans, after implementation, you need to evaluate, that is whether the activities are going as per the plan, or is there any deviations. If there is any deviation, then he should have control over it, or he should make necessary changes in it, or he should modify it. If there is any discrepancy, that means if there is any deviations in the result, then he need to take action to overcome the problem. In this regard, he performs the following functions, that is holding meetings of various functionaries to consult them on organizational matters, and to review functions performed. So he will holds many meetings with the functional heads, with various department heads. So he's going to make a meeting with them, and is going to evaluate the functions, and is going to ask the reason for the deviation, and is suggesting and effecting corrective actions in the case of discrepancy. So if there is any deviation in the result expected, then he is going to suggest, and is going to is going to take corrective actions in such a case. Informing board of directors about the functioning of the organization in general, and senior managers, so as to take suitable course of action. So he is going to inform the board of directors about the functions of the organization, and is going to inform the senior managers in order to take necessary action. External relations. A chief executive is responsible to integrate his organization with the external environment. So he is going to connect the external environment with the organization. He has to maintain relations with various agencies in the society. That agencies may be government, trade associations, trade unions, financial institutions. So he is going to represent a company in these stakeholders. Then role of corporate planning staff. With the increasing complexity in strategic management, many organizations have resorted to the creation of separate departments for corporate planning under the charge of senior managers. So not only chief executive officers or board of directors, so even senior managers, they are taken for strategic decisions. Even medium sized organizations have also taken steps in this direction. A corporate planning division undertakes facilitating functions leading to the performance of strategic management functions. The various functions of corporate planning staff can be summarized as follows: that is, assisting the chief executive in formalizing and updating over time basic concept of, that is, where the organization should be in future. So that is going to be defined uh, by the chief executive. So that for that help is done by corporate planning staff, providing continuous staff inputs that will assist the chief executive in defining and modifying basic business character of operating units of the organization. So he's going to give help to the chief executive about uh, the business which organization is going to carry, and various staff required for that. Identifying the new business opportunities to which organization should divorce resources. So it's going to these corporate planning staff, they are going to identify new opportunities where business can be expanded. Then monitoring and studying and making recommendations about the allocation of resources to various organizational resources. So they are going to allocate resources to various uh, units, and they are going to monitor the resources which are there and in organization. Then monitoring and reviewing strategic plans taking place within the operating units of the organization, and providing guidelines on planning formats to these units. So various plans that are taken in particular units of the organization, and they are going to monitor, they are going to check, and they are going to review the plans which are made by those units, and various guidelines that are going to be provided by corporate planning staff. Integrating unit plan into corporate plans. So unit plans, so various plans made by the units that is going to be integrated with the corporate plans. Maintaining a corporate intelligence function and monitoring performance of operating units and divisions. So they are going to carry a function of maintaining corporate intelligence function, and monitoring the performance of various units and divisions. So they are going to monitor, they are going to check the, they are going to evaluate the performance of various units and divisions in organization. Then role of senior managers. Senior managers also participate in the strategic management process. In a single business unit, that means CSPU, organization functional managers, they are going to make a decision. So in SBU, in single business unit, where organizational functional managers are going to take strategic decisions. In multiple business unit, SBU heads, strategic business unit heads are going to take decision. They will perform the following role in strategic management process. They perform the role of board of members, then role of top management committees which are involved in strategic action. Then they play a role of strategy implementation, particularly in matters falling within their own area. So that means if the decision that is going to be taken which are affecting to their department or their divisions, so there they are going to take a decision. Role of consultants. Consultants is a professional services provided by specially trained and experienced persons to advise and assist managers and administrators to improve their performance and effectiveness of the organization. So consultants, these are outsiders, they are going to provide their service to the organization. For that they are going to charge some amount. In strategic management, there are 8 roles of consultant. These are as follows. That is mentoring. So mentoring role of consultants has long-term beneficial effects on the capability of the client firm. That means they act as a mentor for the firm in planning in various activities that our organization is going to make, and they can be a mentor for the employees. Consultants as mentors set high expectations of performance, and they offer challenging ideas, and they help to improve self confidence. They encourage professional behavior, they confront negative behaviors and attitudes, and they listen to problems and teach by different cases. They provide experiences, they explain how the organization works, and they coach their clients, means they teach their clients, and they stand by their clients in critical situations. Then challenging. Consultants challenge the status quo stand of the organization on the problems which is to be solved through consulting process. So they are going to consult, that means they are going to give solutions to the various problems of the organization. This is done by asking unique types of questions on various aspects of the problem. So by asking questions, they try to get a solution. In this process, consultant may provide management team into looking at problems in new ways and challenge the existing organizational biases. So various problems faced by the government, by the company, uh, to solve that problem. So there will be a team. So they are going to be with this consultant. So there, by having those team, by involving those team, so he's going to find a solution for the problem. Acting as a driving force. Consultants act as an initiator, take responsibility for the results by having necessary authority and by taking active role. The consultant responsibility includes uh, have to precede the decisions, plan and implement the main events, and finally complete the task at hand by using specialized knowledge. Then he acts as a facilitator. Consultants help the client to manage process of information. The responsibility is to address the journey rather than destination. So he's act as a facilitator. So he's going to help the client to manage the process of information exchange. That means he is going to give information about the opportunities available, about the solution available, about the ideas. Then since one of the purpose of undertaking strategic issues to is to reduce resistance to change. So he is going to make organization to accept changes. He will make employees or he will train employees in this regard, and the facilitation role is more likely to encourage others to be more cooperative. Acting as advisors, consultant possess additional valuable insights into strategic problems as faced by other firms in the same or other industries, faced by other firms, and he has the knowledge of best in class firms. Based on these insights, the consultants offer advice to the client, and he acts as a researcher. As researcher, he intervene in different stages of strategic management project to help identify critical information needs and provide additional information on environmental factors, and he prepares necessary materials for decision making. So he's a researcher, so he's going to research into the different stages of strategic management where it requires information. So he's going to identify information, and he's going to provide additional information about the environmental factors, and he provides necessary materials for decision making. Auditing, he carry out a function of auditing, that means checking. Consultants verify or elaborate further information the client has, and recommend a strategy or validate a strategy. Is going to recommend a strategy or is going to confirm strategies when the client has already begun to commit itself to a given course. So whatever the plan which is already made, that is going to be verified or that is going to be checked by the consultants in order to know about its success. This rule benefits the client by clarifying the results and adding additional insights or information, lending credence and confidence to a course of action. So this role played by consultant is going to help organization while after implementation of its strategy. Acting as a teachers, the consultant provide theoretical and practical knowledge, and they provide success and failure stories and case studies and key success factors of strategic management. So as a teacher, they are going to teach all these things to the employees or stakeholders in organization. They organize workshops in the firm to improve the capability of strategic management and enhanced action learning. So to train the employees to improve the capability of strategic management and strategic decision making, so they are going to organize workshops. So there they are going to train the employees. All these roles they are going to play. So these are the top management people. They are going to take decisions and they are going to play all these roles in strategic decision making. Thank you.